Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to teamfortress.tv. I am FrickMyNick. I'm joined by Unicorn Wizard as my co-caster and Lucer200 on production. We're back. It's RGL Season 3. We got some more invite games. We're going to be casting Dexter's Lab versus the Microwave. How you doing tonight, Unicorn Wizard?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been a nice day of quarantine. It was 85 and sunny where I live, so it was a really good day. And RGL's back. We got good games to cast.
Yeah, this one I'm actually pretty excited about. I'm friends with basically everyone on Dexter's Lab and have played with a few people on Microwave. So they might be switching server also. That also is the thing. So just be aware. We might be waiting.
Yeah. Let's say we were having a couple STV issues previously before the cast, but I think they've sorted themselves out. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. RGL's back. We got Season 3 of Invite starting. This will be our first match that we're covering. We got the Microwave, which is previous season's ESA Season 31. What is their Space Pirates? Space Pirates team is back. They have all 6 of those players. Many of those players returning after a hiatus. And on the other side of things, we got Dexter's Lab, which is very similarly a returning team. A couple of these players have played here and there, but it's a returning team from like Season 27 Invite, I want to say? 28? Sometime in that era? Yes, we got a couple teams returning from previous seasons, making their debut in RGL. And I think this will be a really good match. We have had, a bit of a rough time in, the Invite Thunderdome getting teams to play. But hopefully both of these teams, I think both of them will be fighting for one of those playoff spots. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they are switching servers. Okay. Yeah, I think both these teams are going to be fighting for that fourth, maybe that third spot, depending on how the season shakes up, especially with Team Avatar dying. So there are now only 6 teams in Invite.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know the Invite preview article came out on TFTV like earlier today or yesterday, pretty recently, and within the last, I want to say 2 hours, Team Avatar has unfortunately left. Fire Nation attacked or something, who knows. But we are down to 6-team Invite once again, but I think both these teams, even with the twos, with all the teams dying pretty last minute, I think both of them would have been and are still going to be playing for one of those coveted Invite playoff spots.
Yeah, definitely. New servers in Mumble. But yeah, definitely. And I don't think any, just because they're not, Froyo or Sent doesn't mean these teams are not good. A lot of, a good amount of the people on Dexter's Lab haven't played, at least last season. I don't know when the last time Jinx played, honestly. But they're all very good. Exile is very, I think, overlooked on demo just because he hasn't always played on the best teams, but he's a very, very good demo. Mirrorman is an incredible soldier. He's always, no matter what team he's on, he's shown really well. Ether has been around playing soldier demo forever, and both Jinxed and Ryan are really good scouts. And Toy, not to miss the medic. Toy is very good as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is one of the teams that I played most of the off season and even late in last season on a team that was slotted to play Invite. And I was gonna say it was definitely one of the teams that I felt like I looked at the roster, I felt kind of underwhelmed reading the names, but playing them, they're definitely a lot better than the weight that their names hold. And even on the other side of things, I feel like the Microwave is that way too, just because both of these teams I feel like have so much pre-existing synergy because they were both rosters for more than one season previously that they play very well together. And so, a lot of the new team issues just aren't there. It's a lot more of just all right, how do we approach X issue a little more in depth rather than all right, this player should have been there and didn't fight this scenario the right way.
Yeah, 100%. It's for both teams. The Dexter's Lab people, they've played on teams with each other. I don't know how much recently or how much the extent, but they're always in the same mumble. I go to it too, and they're just always there hanging out. They know each other really well. On the other side, the Microwave, like you said, like a lot of people know, they're just are basically a new version of Space Pirates. So many of them have played together. So
I say this is the exact roster that Space Pirates finished the season on. Yeah, they played into week 5 with Catface, and then they poached Phone at the end of week 5, and they finished out the season with Phone. So they've played at least half a season with this roster, give or take. And then they also have scrimmed a couple times in the previous off seasons, kind of teasing comebacks, but they never really did. So it's not like this like roster really ever went away. I mean, it's not like they actively played like entire seasons, but they didn't really go away.
Yeah,
and most of their players, I want to say with the exception of Sky and sort of Hayes, have been playing pretty actively. I know Hayes has played demo last season in advance, making his return to Invite this season on Soldier. Phone's played for a couple teams. He played for a team season 1. I don't know if he played last season or not. I can't remember. But yeah, a lot of these players have been around. I think with the exception of Sky, all the people on the microwave have been playing on other teams in forms or fashions, so they've been around.
Yeah, so this should be pretty interesting, especially with it being process. Like, the teams know each other, and this is not, by any means a new map. If I had to guess, process is probably the map that most TF2 players know the most. Like, it used to be Badlands, but that's kind of fallen out. So process is now the big, everyone's like, oh yeah, process.
I was gonna say, it's like everybody's comfort picks, everybody pugs on it, like 30% of pugs happen on this map, and I was gonna say, unless you were like one of those old school boomers that played Badlands a bunch when they played the game, this is probably the map that all these players have played the most.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm guessing we're gonna see a lot of default stuff, but also a lot of like set plays maybe, as opposed to just like, oh yeah, go in and sack, maybe a double sack, maybe distraction, stuff like that, because teams are so well versed on how to hold and how to stop stuff like that. They got to get innovative.
Yeah, I was saying, both of these teams play, I want to say, very aggressively. They both have players on their teams that want to play very aggressively. I think outside of the microwave, it's Shamu. They put a lot of resources into keeping Shamu and playing around him as a team. And on the other side of things, Mirrorman's very, very aggressive as a pocket. I actually think Mirrorman and Hayes play a very similar like role and style on their own teams, but both the teams play very aggressively, which I think favors teams on process just because of like how fast teams can move, particularly soldiers with like the ramp slides and a lot of these chokes and stuff. So I'm very interested to see how these two teams match up. I know this was one of the teams, or one of the maps that both these teams had better scrim results on, as that we are going to be going live. As we go into this first mid, who do you think the players to watch are?
I would say the demos, honestly. You might see a high bomb from soldiers, but process is so determined early on by demo damage, so I'm going to be looking at XL versus Chunky.
Yeah, as we get into this first mid here, it looks like Exile's just a little bit faster than Chunky, but didn't quite hit that ramp slide, so they're going to be showing it about the same time here. Both teams playing pretty passively, but Shamu eats a bunch of damage, is actually knocked off early, but Rakuzo's going to bomb in and just trade for Exile instantly. No chance for early damage there. Hayes is going to get traded out, but they're going to pick up Ryan on the other side of things. So 2 down on the side of Dexter's lab. They got to make some moves happen. Looks like Mirrorman's going to be in the back line, but looks like the Microwave's going to claim the first mid here.
Yeah, and Mirrorman being behind could be really bad, because if he doesn't do something soon, or if they just leave him there, they could just lose second altogether. Although they don't check Ether. Ether beeps rockets. He does do good damage onto the med, though. And he might trade for Shamu. No, he's just going to go behind and die. All right.
Oh, but Mirrorman's flanking right now. Sky's still 50 health. He's actually going to trade. Huge play from Mirrorman. Sky didn't go get the health pack. That makes no sense to me.
The only thing I can think of is they either forgot or they assumed that since Ether's dead, oh, that's the soldier that was behind us. But as to say that, they are going in on Toy, going for force. They do get it. Hayes is dead. Both soldiers are dead, and Shamu's dead. They are going to take down Phone, so now it's just Chunky. And he's going to live, but that's not a free mid, because obviously they used, but a good mid. And they might be able to deny 3 players, so they might take second off this if they're quick enough.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and with Chunky escaping, he still had to meet up with Sky, who was alone, so even though that Sky was alive at the time that Toy's Uber ended, Chunky wasn't with her, so they actually are going to have about a 25% advantage, and, after the wholesale sellout to try and get the force onto Toy, they are going to be trying to make a scrappy fight here onto 2, as both teams are going to get it at about the same time, but the Microwave doesn't fancy this fight. Fight's gone cold for them, I guess, and Phone's just going to set up the center gun here on lap.
Yeah, that's not a fight you want to take in many situations unless your Uber is, like, huge ad. Because if you die there, it's over, And yeah, at most, maybe you get a few kills, they back out, and you hold second. So it's not really worth it. So we're just going to see even Ubers. Well, 20% ad, but that's effectively even, especially in a last push.
Yeah, especially pushing process labs, which is so wide, and there's so much space for teams to kite. It's so hard to push. And the other thing, too, is like the passive positioning for the team that's pushing into 2 is just so much better, because being able to play on grass and by sewer, you have a lot more space to kite, whereas you really have no space, and you're basically playing in the chokes as the team that's trying to defend on process second. So it's just a really awkward fight to take. You basically have to be in, and especially, too, I figured that Sky would be counting the Ubers correctly, and they would know that Toy would have an advantage. As we are going to be seeing the teams setting up on last. Chunky's going to die to Aether.
Yeah, Aether bombed in through 3, hit a sync rocket, great bomb, great follow-up. There is still the gun, though.
I say, they're trying to spam down this gun, but it looks like they're going to pressure him out. That was just really strange, because Chunky was just up top on last. That's not a place you'd expect the demo to get picked. That's very, very passive positioning, but...
Oh, great.
Yeah, Mirrorman's going to try and sack into 4, but he's going to find the business end of 2 scatterguns. Rakusa's going to be on the counter sack here, going to find a decent first rocket in the direction of Toy, but, you know, Toy with the smooth move is going to juke out of the way of that one. As the teams are just kind of trading sacks back and forth, seeing if they can make anything happen here.
Mirrorman Sniper. That's not, you know, that's not one I'm accustomed to, so I'm curious as to how good he is. I mean, obviously he's good, he's playing Invite, but...
Yeah. I was gonna say, but it's a pretty different ball game going from Soldier, which is projectiles, to Sniper, which is, you know, like hard hit scan, right?
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, after scrimming these teams for, you know, the majority of the offseason, I don't think I've ever seen Mirrorman snipe, especially on a map that's like, you know, we scrim them basically every single night that you play a team in the offseason. You're basically gonna play process because both teams want to play it. You know, it's just a very good metric for teams to kind of measure themselves on, and I don't think we've seen Mirrorman play Sniper once, so. Maybe a bit different, maybe they're just waiting to break it out in matches. But I was gonna say, Mirrorman's a little more apt to the spy off class. Yeah, Toy's gonna get a much better Uber though. I think that's actually a really good choice. I mean, dropping the Sniper who's not gonna contribute a bunch in a post Uber, trading that for, you know, 45-50% better Uber like they did, I think is a really good choice. But oh no, Exile's arrow! Ryan accidentally juked in front of Toy and ate the arrow that was meant for Exile. That's so unfortunate. And off the back of that, Dexter Lab's gonna have to give up their 2. Jinx gets a clutch arrow to make
too.
Yeah. But yeah, I think just the lack of you know, potential damage from Exile there on 2, especially when it's so important to have a demo on grass there to help pressure the point. I think they're just going to give it up here as both teams are building up their Ubers. Doesn't look like the Microwave's going to fancy their chances on mid, knowing Exile's going to get there first.
Yeah. We're probably, and as I was going to say, we're not going to see anything, you know, crazy until the both men get Uber. Rakusa's already on Spy.
I really like this timing though, because like teams aren't going to be like crazy aggressive right now. Aether's actually surprisingly aggressive in the IT area, but I don't mind this.
They're not going to expect the Spy right now. There's no way.
I was going to say, the Spy timing is so awkward. Like, you wouldn't expect the timing, because they just broke the stalemate, right?
What? Mirrorman?
Yeah, I was saying he figured it out.
I think he was disguised as Aether, who was in the middle of bombing in, so...
Yeah. I was gonna say, and the Spy moves at a pretty similar speed to Soldier, so, you know, you just see him running around, he's like, oh, he's just, you know, rotating for a buff or something, right? But
yeah, definitely. If you're trying to, like, blend in, Soldier's a good one. Ryan goes in and doesn't really get anything, damage or otherwise, so maybe we'll see something from Blue.
Yeah, as they actually really don't have much of... Okay, I was gonna say, Mirrorman kind of bombs in. They didn't have much of a presence in Choke there. It was kind of a moment of danger. Microwave, I think, could have gotten a lot of space in the mid, but Shamu's actually going to die in the choke point to the spam. So, as Mirrorman's going to go for the counter sack on his own, going to eat a direct and a pipe. They cleaned up very quickly there. Chunky's going to get arrowed up. And once again, these teams, I like this fast pacing of the stalemate, though. They aren't really giving, like, either time a ton of time. They're just kind of throwing players in, kind of letting it be a slugfest. So despite the fact that this game is relatively slow, there's things happening.
Yeah, 100%. You can give people time to feel comfortable, and playing fast is definitely one way of doing that. Although, now there's Mirrorman Spy.
I say Mirrorman's taking his turn on the Spy. Like I said, this is a little more his forte on the off classes. Like I had never seen him play Sniper before, and I've casted Invite the last 4-ish seasons. It looks like he's going for a friendly Soldier disguise, so he's actually going to show himself on Soldier, and now he's going to go for the Spy play, but they actually get the pick onto Ryan on the other side, I think, as they're super aggressive in this IT area are the Microwaves. They're actually going to make their way into mid. Owen's a little weak, along with Rakuso, but they are going to get in. It's going to make it a trade, but Mirrorman's not going to have a ton of opportunities to make things happen on Spy with the Uber exchange happening on point, and Mirrorman's actually spotted out by Phone, and his cloak runs out too.
Yeah, I think Phone might have bumped into him in IT, which is pretty unfortunate. That could have gone so much worse for Dexter's Lab. They were down 2 players, and one of their players that was alive is on Spy, and they get out with just 1 death and an Uber trade. That's almost as good as you can ask for, honestly.
Yeah, but they're getting a lot of space in the flanks here. Is the microwave. They're going to get into upright T. Recrucio finds so much damage into Ether, and Exile die. Not able to hold the choke along with Ether, so they are going to trade it out for Recrucio, but they have a demo advantage here. Chunky's going to be able to a lot more damage in a longer fight. They're slowly going to push over the point and hold onto these choke points. And with the Ubers being even, there's no opportunity for an Uber to come in here to try and make it messy.
Yeah, and they... No, there's a heavy. Never mind. I was going to say maybe they try to go, but just to try to catch them off guard.
Yeah, I think the spawns happened a little too early for that. Just the ones on process second are kind of weird because you get them so fast, and then especially 2 on process last, even in the spawn doors in a decent position because a lot of times your medic's directly above you. So unless the player's already committed into upper, like you know, pretty decent chance of helping out your team.
Phone's already on sniper. He's a really good sniper. He's
yes, Phone
the
is an
person
incredible
I would
sniper.
expect to snipe.
I would say. I think you would expect somebody like Jinx or Phone to be the snipers. He's actually going to get a decent peek into last, but Mirrorman's going to find him bombing. As Ether's going to be getting in from the lower lobby, but he's going to find the sticky trap instantly taken down. No chance to get in a second there. Once again, the 1-for-1 trade, as things are kind of settling down. It'll be interesting to see if Phone continues to spawn on-off classes. But as Recruso's actually going to find his way in the last, he's on shotgun.
That's a great bomb.
Recruso was on shotgun there.
Yeah, Recruso is very good with hit scan. He definitely feels comfortable in his scout, sniper, those sort of classes. So
he's also a notorious MGE player. I know in MG servers of old, he's a bit of a Spire Lord, so no stranger to running the shotgun.
100%. So
his Phone's going to pick up the sniper rifle once again. It'd be interesting to see if Ryan opts to try and counter snipe him. Or if the sentry gets spammed down if Jinx moves over to sniper, because right now he's pretty uncontested. They have to kind of challenge him in the choke points, but there's just no pressure on Phone if he holds far away from the choke points like he's doing now.
Crusoe goes in for, I don't know if it was a bomb or if it was kind of just, you know, see if I could pick someone off for my sniper. Oh my god, goodbye Mirrorman.
He's with a clean rocket.
Yeah. But nothing. Phone is hurt, so he can't really go for a peek at the moment. Oh, as I say that, he's peeking 1. Full buff. Oh!
Yeah, Phone's going to be trying to peek in from this one area. It's a really tough position to be put in as a medic because it's hard to stay out of the sight lines of 1 without exposing yourself to other doorways, and with other people in lobby pressuring, puts Toy in a really difficult spot. But they're able to pressure Phone out of 1 here, and it's going to be another reset as teams get all their spawners in.
Yeah, so what happened last time when Microwave broke the last hold is they just used right into the sniper. I'm curious to see if Dexter's Lab does the same thing. Mirrorman eats a headshot, but no follow-up.
I was gonna say that's kind of the time for people to be trying to peek there, especially if you get a headshot onto a soldier, because you have that, you know, if you create pressure in 2 different doorways, the demo doesn't want to peek the doorway, and the other soldier can only bomb one of them. So,
yeah, you can't give them lobby control, which, you know, they did a good job of driving them out. Because as long as that sniper's in lobby and kind of protected and not eating damage,
ooh, Mirrorman needs another headshot. He gets body shot again. He's actually gonna go down. Oh no, there's people in the microwave going down.
And they're 3 down.
Okay, I thought Mirrorman died. I saw the kill feed light up. He was down to like just 5 HP or something crazy, and they just picked all the players in 1. Mirrorman was able to get out of there.
Yeah, this is, I'm assuming, yep, here's the trade. This actually might not be too bad for Microwave. It's a solo, and they're just going to leave, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, Chunky is so weak, though. He's just 50 HP, but he's coming back in, and they get their scout spawns, so they're actually going to try and fight this. But like I said, it's better positioning here for the teams that are able to hold grass. Your passive positioning is just so much better, because you don't have to play in these chokes.
Toy eats a pipe. Exile's going to die.
This is their time to go. They have a pick on Exile and Mirrorman, so it puts all the pressure on Ether here to try and get a ton of value out of a bomb, and it's going to be so difficult. They're going to bring the fight to the point, so Ether's got an opportunity to fight 2-3 players on the point. 2 scouts are on the point. They're focusing frags. Ryan's going to live for so long. He actually gets arrowed. They're getting their spawns in. Toy's got to hold out for just a little longer. Soldier gets in, but the heals are too much. Shimu's down so weak. Oh, God. Mirrorman not able to clutch it out. 2 HP in a dream, but he's not going to make the magic happen, as that's going to be the Microwave taking the first round.
Yeah, that was a lot closer than I expected, honestly. But no matter what, with that demo being dead, your last hold is going to be rough, because they can just pressure the point immediately, which is what they did. They just ran right on it, got it to like half cap, and that was that.
Yeah, and with the numbers advantage, you can just trade frags on the point and win, as we are going to be coming into our next mid here. Pretty passive play coming out of the microwave. We're going to see the same bomb from Rakuso, but nobody's there. Dexter Lab opting to go far left on their side of the mid, as Mirrorman's going to be jumping in, trying to catch Sky on the rotation. They're not going to be able to find that one. Both these teams playing so passive. They're just rotating super quickly, trying to catch people out on the rotations. Hayes is going to be the first person to die, but Mirrorman and Aether both traded out. Rakuso's decently weak on the other side of things, but he's going to be jumping out of that one, as it looks like the microwave's got Toy and Ryan trapped in their choke, so they're actually in a really tough spot here. As Sky gets your Uber first, there's an opportunity of extreme danger, but Toys looks like, yeah, Toy's gonna get through.
Oh, they're in their second, aren't they?
Yeah, they're on the wrong side. Yeah, Toy's just gonna kill behind. Ryan's gonna be behind looking for anything, but he's gonna need a couple stickies from Chunky. He's super weak here. Yeah, and she's gonna stand on the roller on accident. The bomb from Hayes forces him onto it. It's really unlucky.
That was like, they took their time, but as soon as Rakuso and Hayes go in, everyone on microwave walks in, and that's exactly what you want. The soldiers aren't necessarily like get the kills; they're more do a little bit of damage and get eyes on you while the rest of your team walks forward. Hayes goes in and dies though.
Yeah, I think he got air shot, but I don't know if he got hit like a spam pipe or what, but I saw him get air suspended by something, and neither of the scouts were particularly far forward. But Mirrorman's going to die on the other side of things, trying to make space for his team. Aether's going to get a bunch of damage along with Exile, but it looks like they're still trying to fight this, especially with that late pick onto Phone, knowing they have that player advantage. Aether's going to bomb in, but Chunky finds a ton of damage into it. Aether down so weak, just 11 HP, but they are going to get the frag onto Chunky, as it looks like Rakuso is going to be looking for anything in the back line. He's stuck in the other team's lobby.
Yeah, there he goes. There's not much you can do there, especially when you have two scouts looking for you.
Yeah, and Sky's going to be coming up on her Uber, but with down players. Oh, they are going to Uber in. It's going to be Hayes and Shamu taking this one in. They're going to clean up Exile. They're looking for frags here. They are going to get Jinx as well, so they're going to get 2 picks, but Toy is just completely out of there. Toy's already on 75% as well.
Aether does take down Chunky, which is an alright pick, but no matter what, you're still down 3 trying to hold.
Oh, but Shamu got destroyed on last, got air suspended by Ryan as he was going for anything. This is opportunity for Toy and Co to make something happen. If they can stop the point with this Uber, this is really good for them because they get their spawns in, but they don't stop in time. And Sky's gonna die, but Mirrorman trades it out. I'm sorry, Mirrorman's gonna trade out for Sky. That's really good for them because Toy's alive, and Toy's in a really good position here just to eat up any aggression behind the point.
Yeah, both teams, you know, they got the point, but they lose their medic, so it's not really worth it.
Yeah, and we're going to see the slow push into mid here from Dexter's Lab. The Phone Sniper in the forward spawn, going to be trying to make something happen. He's going to peek out, but not going to find much. Going to find a body shot here, but Jinx does die. So they find the entry frag, as they are going to get the other scout too. Jinx is down as well. Got disconnected from their heals, and looks like Dexter Lab is going to be sent packing here.
Yeah, Hayes and Rakuso played that really well. As soon as they saw the sniper, they bombed in because they knew they'd be distracted. And as I say that, they're pushing in a second.
Yeah, and it looks like they should be able to get this cap here. They're kind of, I would say, they're looking for Aether there. Aether's taking a 1v1 with Rakuso in IT, but the boys were called in. They're going to make that one a 2v1. As Toy's actually going to be coming up on the Uber. They're going to get it right now, see if they can stop the point again. Phone's going to eat a bunch of damage, but going to die. Exile with 2 clean stickies takes him down, gets him with a bit of a drive-by there, but that's really all they're going to find.
They do take, Rakuso was on the back trying to, you know, maybe get a back up, draw people back, and he's going to die, and now all of a sudden it's a 4v6. But the 4 do have Uber.
Yeah, and Microwave's going to come up on their Uber here. Let's see what they try and make happen here. Looks like they're gearing up to go through the choke point. They're just going to opt to use through the choke. They're going to get Exile, who's just a little too close there. And oh, this is a huge nuke. Hayes and Chunky are going to be catching them all out in one. So much damage onto Aether and Toy, who are barely going to make it out of that one. Jinx was able to make it so their teammates can make it out, but at what cost? Mirrorman's also in as well. He's in behind. He's gonna bomb in. He's gonna be able to trade for Rakuso. He misses his last rocket.
Nope, that's the round.
I would say he needed to make a lot happen there, as they're gonna be getting onto the point on last tier. Are the Microwave? They're gonna clean everybody up. It's just the heavy of Jinx as the Microwave extends their lead to 2-0.
Yeah, it's not like crazy difference. It's just I feel like the Microwave are doing better at capitalizing off of, you know, very tiny advantage. Even if it's not a player or health advantage, like someone's looking here, you know, they bomb in off that distraction.
Yeah, I think their scouts are just playing a little more together in these team fights, and they're just able to kind of play more together. They're trading out their soldiers for better friends. Toy eats a ton of damage crossing, and Rakusto's actually going to bomb in and trade that one out. But Chunky does it on the other side of things. A scrappy fight on either side. Dexter's lab has more players alive, but their health is ailing with no medic here, as it looks like Shamu, Haze, and Sky are just going to be making out on this one. They don't fancy a fight on the mid. They have their heals. They'll be content with just getting their Uber.
Yeah, and that's to be expected. You know, get your Uber, get your spawns, push back in with full Uber ad.
Yeah, especially too because they have this 2-round lead. It's very important to note that they have that lead because they can start to play their game more. They can start making Dexter's lab play their game, as Mirrorman's actually going to get in the Sky in the sewer area. So again, a wholesale sellout here for the side of Dexter's lab.
A 5-man almost, with Exile being hunted, but I think he's going to live. Maybe.
Yeah, he actually leaves through one. So both soldiers were in upright T80 juke. Oh, Shamu chases him from rollout. That was cheeky from Shamu there, but I was going to say he juked the the soldiers that were chasing him. Both soldiers went up right T and he dropped down to lower. It jumped out from lower right T to 1. Almost made it out there, but she was able to snuff him out. As Haze actually dies in the 1 area, Ether is able to claim that frag. So they have a couple picks here. As Exile is going to be coming up for a moment, but with Sky having an Uber advantage, I don't think they're going to fancy it.
Yeah, most likely not. They're probably just going to, you know, chill. Maybe they think... What's Haze doing? Haze just checking. No, he's committing. So we got, and Haze is on the regular watch, so he's, you know, he's committing to a fast spy play with that. He's not going to sit around for 5 minutes waiting for the play. He's just going to go.
Yeah, I like this though, as he actually does take the ammo in Mirrorman and Ether's line of sight, so could make something happen here. But I don't think Ether noticed. It's kind of a small thing to notice, as Toy doesn't really seem to be paying much attention, as he's actually going to drop down. But yeah, they definitely heard him there. Let's say as soon as the decloak happens, Toy drops down, and both the scouts went up top looking for him. As they're going to try and sack Rakuso at the same time. I like that, trying to go for the distraction. It just seemed to be a little mistimed there, though.
Yeah. A few seconds earlier, and I think that would have been a lot better.
As we're going to see the counter-sack attempt from Ether, who's not even going to make it to the ground, but Mirrorman's in as well. Mirrorman's going to secure that force, but he's going to die. So they have 2 picks here on the side of Microwave, but they're not going to find their entry in the last. They're not going to fancy their odds, especially with Ether and Mirrorman spawn being so close. They are going to pick the Engineer of Jinx, so they're going to be trying to spam the Sentry Gun, which is down on point. They actually get a ton of damage into it. They're going to take it down. They have 2 picks to work with here. Haze is going to be jumping in, looking for damage onto Exile. They're just pressuring from all doors, seeing if they can get a force out of Toy, but Toy's going to be juking and jiving. They get a player in on a point, and they're going to get the force out of Toy.
Yeah, they really didn't want to use on Dexter's lab, because that was almost a free second point if they don't, but does get forced. They are still trying to push here, though. The players on Microwave aren't the healthiest. Chunky got rolled by Ether, but traded. It's 4v4. I'm just going to leave.
Yeah, Sky's is a little closer to her Uber than Toy is, but I think they're going to fancy their odds here in this fight, because I think being down a demo is worse than being down a soldier, but with their aggression in the choke point and the fake call there, I think they might have thought that Sky had Uber. So they actually do back up, and they're holding really passive on 2. So I think they bought the fake call there, which is actually pretty smart from Sky, as they're going to be trying to push in from the IT area. They are going to get spotted early. Ether's going to die for the force, but that's really all they're going to find, is Mirrorman goes deep into the back line. He's going to find his way all the way in the mid.
If I'm... if I'm Microwave, I'm going in. Especially with that Jinx pick, because you know Mirrorman has to come in from behind, and he's getting destroyed by the guy on point.
I don't know if I agree. This is the third. I think this is at least the second time, maybe the third time, that Mirrorman's been behind and his team ends up losing players and has to try and hold less while he's behind. Process 2 is so hard to stop as a soldier. Like other points like Gully, if the scout's sitting on low ground, sure, you have an opportunity, but the scout has to stand on the high ground to stand on the point, so it's so hard to contest here if you're Mirrorman, as he's going to die in the back line. Exer and Ethio trying to get in from the lower lobby area here with their Uber advantage. They are going to get out, but Microwave's going to be slowly backing it up. But Haze is going to get in on a bomb, finds a ton of damage into Exile. Exile done so weak, but has the beam on him. Both their scouts are weak, but Shamu's on last. Shamu gets so much cap time, phones with him.
Holy shit.
Oh, that was so close.
Oh my god.
I was so close from the side of I'm sorry, I almost called them Space Fires from the Microwave there. They had both their scouts and a soldier on last. Rakuso's in as well, but Exile's got stickies on the point. Mirrorman's standing on it. There's so many scrappy fights happening here, but it looks like eventually Dexter Lab is going to win it out, but they bought so much time for Sky. Sky's going to be up under Uber in just a couple seconds.
Through all that, Toy didn't use. That to me, that's the most, like, impressive thing. But they get the Uber, even Ubers out of that, so it's alright.
Yeah, but the Microwave's still in control a bit, and I mean, there's 8 minutes left in this half, but they're up 2-0. Like, the Microwave has just no pressure put on them right now.
Yeah, it's kind of sacking from second into mid with no advantage is really hard. Well, they'll have an advantage now. Recurso's not gonna die, and they lose Exile.
Oh, but they get the force!
Ether bombed in off all that chaos and did get the force, but it is... They do have player disad. Oh,
Phone's
Toy.
in! Oh, Phone drops Toy! Toy wasn't ready. Phone's so good at doing that. I would say I think most of the medics in Invite would fancy their odds. They're not popping, from 2 shots, but Phone's one of those players that's gonna hit 2 fat meat shots if they get up in your face like that. Hayes is gonna collect a Mirror Man on the way out, as it looks like this is a huge advantage for the Microwave, trying to secure this first half 3-0.
That's one where you just feel really bad for the medic, because you know, like, you can't use there, right? You have this ad, and, maybe he won't hit 1, but Phone is just too good, like you said.
I was gonna say, as the leading authority in disrespecting scouts as an Invite medic, I can definitely say Phone is one of the scouts you just don't disrespect. As he will do that. I was gonna say, I think pretty consistent. Like I said, most Invite medics favor their odds of not getting 2 shot, but I think Phone's one of those players you just have to respect it every single day of the week. As it looks like Microwave here is trying to go through lobby. It looks like they're fancying by this 3 or 4 door. They're opting to use through 3 here, as there's really no off classes. There's a heavy that's going to be coming out of spawn now. They're going to be trying to get pressure on the point. They're moving the stickies, but the aggression's going to come in from Dexter's lab, trying to deny him the space. They need to buy time here for Toy to get through Uber at 70%. Need a little more than 10 seconds here. As they are, Phone's going to be the first one to die on this last hold. As it looks like the Microwave's going to be trying to make their way out of this one.
Dead.
Toy's dead.
So.
Oh, it's so unfortunate because Toy was with their heavy. Heavy should 100% counter that Soldier Bomb.
The last push to complete. Oh my god! And Hayes is dead on my traded with Heather. That was actually a really bad last push. Honestly, they didn't get any area besides the ramp. They didn't put really any damage. They got no point time. That was looking great for Dexter's lab, and then all of a sudden your med's dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like I said, Toy was with their heavy. I could see, at least through the free cam with the wall cheats that I have, I could see that Toy and Jinx were pretty close to each other, but Rakusa was still able to find the frag, and once again, Sky's gonna be living, has another Uber advantage. The Microwave's just doing so much of a better job of trading out frags and keeping Sky alive, having 2 or 3 players trade for. Toy on the other side of things, it looks like they're going for the same Uber. They're going through 1 this time, though. They're going to get all the space on 1, but it looks like they're going to find the gun this time, and they're going to get a ton of damage into Exile. Scout on the point, and nobody gets into contest.
Yeah, that's rough.
I know Ether died, but, I mean, Exile was just forced into spawn. I have no idea where Mirror Man was. They just put a ton of pressure on the side of Dexter's lab, and the Micro is able to capitalize.
Well played. A lot better last push than the one before. Let's see what we got.
I'm pretty curious to see with the logs, because I was going to say, I had a
20 and 11 with 319 DPM. Top DPM on the server by 70.
I was gonna say, I felt like Hayes' name was in the kill feed a ton. He was getting just a ton. He would start a fight, get a pick, live, and then get as somebody who's leaving a fight would also just bomb the doorway and get an assist or a kill.
Yeah. Who do you think the bottom fragger is?
That's a tough. I'm gonna go with I'm out of left field. I'm gonna say it's Rakusa.
Yeah. Rakusa was 5 and 18. It really doesn't feel like that though, because it always feels like he's just in making chaos happen, which is,
I think that's what this team kind of plays around, though. They're willing to just throw in Rakusa and say, yeah, you can have this pick to start every fight. That's fine. But they're making it so, off of Rakusa's death, they're getting a ton of space, and that, all the space that they're providing for their scouts is going to, net them a bigger net positive than whatever, they get off of killing Rakusa.
Yeah, it's similar to how Froyo would play, Blaze in particular would play on Froyo. I remember a log, I think he went 8 and 30 or 8 and 40 or some stupid number, and they won. They won 5-1. So on Roamer, your job isn't always get kills. It's just, go in, make that space, go for if there's a chance at something, go for it.
I was saying, I think that's for all any new players out there are watching, it's a great example of why you can't just look at a log and be like, all right, this guy's playing poorly, because You know, Rakuso has 5 frags, but I would say Rakuso's playing really well. It's going to roll out fast into the other team's IT. Is going to go really fast behind. Dexter's Lab needs to make this fight happen fast before Rakuso sets up a pinch. Well, it's a 5v6, but they aren't getting anywhere. Rakuso's going to get in, misses versus rocket on the toy. That's so unfortunate, but they're finding all the frags anyway. Off the back of that, they were so distracted with trying to go forward that they really just found nothing, though.
Yeah, with a soldier going behind like that, like you said, you do need to make something fast happen. Like, you need to move forward and make something happen fast, otherwise you get pinched. But you also can't just blindly go forward. You have to, you know, call what you're focusing, because regardless if it's 5v6 for a second, you're still going into 5 players, a lot of whom are still going to be pretty healthy, which is exactly what happened. They got kind of caught up, they got denied, and then Rakusa came in.
Yeah, but I think a big difference maker that they made as an adaptation coming into this half is that Toys lived. I don't think Toy lived any of the previous mids. Honestly, one of the previous mids, Sky, died, so it wasn't as bad, but Toy has lived this mid. Toy was playing pretty passively, which, I mean, hurts your team on the mid, but it's a little more safe. If you know you're getting rolled on the mid, it's like, alright, you know, maybe we can have both our soldiers bomb and try and sell out for something, and, you know, worst case scenario, our medic just lives and we're holding last.
Yeah. And there are no off classes. I was expecting, you know, maybe Rakusa to go spy or something, but nothing yet. So we'll probably just see, you know, yeah, as I say, Rakusa just goes in. He gets Toy down to 100, and a scout's in on him.
Toy holds! Oh my god, if I was Toy, I would 100% pop there. I would have expected to drop the phone. That was a very rare phone beat as Shamu dies.
Yeah, Shamu got chased by Ryan, which is a really good chase. Mirman's in, but he's hurt, so he can't really commit. He has to wait for his team, and here they come.
Yeah, but Mirman's going to go deep into the backline. He's going to be looking for the pack into sewer, but Rakusa's going to be there as a spawner. But they're going to be trying to
leave.
Yeah, I was going to say, this went from a decent exchange to happen, but as soon as they lost Mirrorman, they just need to get out, as Hayes is going to clean up Toy and Exile in that one area, and he's going to get the assist onto Jinx here. This is so bad for the side of Dexter's Lab. It started off as a really decent engagement for them, as it looks like the side of the microwaves, they're going to get in so clean from the lobby area. Oh, Ether's not even going to make it to point, going to get airshot by Chunky, as it's a 4-0 game right now.
Yeah, so what I saw is Exile and Toy both got out one, and then I don't think there was someone flanking. They just kind of hung out in one, and a soldier came up. Soldier just jumped into them and cleaned them both up. So I don't know why they stayed, but that definitely contributed to that loss.
I would say, I think maybe they were trying to find opportunities to make a scrappy fight happen. They were down 3-0, and it's definitely on their in their court to try and make something happen. We see the double soldier bomb here for both teams, but they're actually going to clean up the soldiers on the side of the microwave. Mirrorman's actually going to live, going to get a couple good arrows from Toy to keep himself alive. Mirrorman just bombing, making space for his team, but the microwave backs out of this mid. I mean, they threw 2 soldiers in, and they didn't find anything. I think that's another thing that the microwave's doing really well, is when they are throwing their soldiers in, and they aren't able to find value off of being like, alright, you know, we're going to give up these 2 picks. They're doing a really good job of recognizing that and just leaving.
Yeah, Phone's caught behind. He's currently fighting both soldiers, and he somehow doesn't kill Mirrorman. But yeah, you're right. They're using those soldiers as their aggression, and they're also using those soldiers as the bar of, okay, if this doesn't work, we're leaving. On the other side, Dexter's Lab did a really good job of stopping that, because that's how they've gotten destroyed on the past few mids. After with a fat bomb, as I say that.
Yeah, he finds a really good first rocket into Sky, but it's going to get body blocked by Shamu. Shamu's not going to let any more rockets can find the way to Sky. Is Jinx actually going to get in and clean up Rakusa here? But Ather does on the other side of things, or I'm sorry, Mirrorman does on the other side of things in the sewer area. He cleans up by Phone. So there's only one spam class, it's just Exile here. So if they pressure a bunch of doorways, it's going to be really hard for Exile to pressure them all, as Exile's finding a bunch of damage into Skies. They're going to make it in exchange here on mid. This does favor Dexter's Lab, though. They have the spawn advantage on this point, meaning their soldiers are going to get in first. Uber's going to be ending on the point. Chunky up top hits a fat pipe on the top of Ryan's head, going to make him crater, but Jinx is going to clean up Shamu on the other side of things. But no scouts on either side of things. It's just going to be a projectile fight here. Soldier bombs are going to become increasingly more deadly. Ether's going to jump Chunky, not going to fear him, as they're actually going to clean him up in the choke point. So this is really good. It's just going to be Hayes and Sky making it out of this one. As Sky's not even going to make it out.
Neither is Hayes. Hayes is caught, I think. Oh my god,
he's doing
crazy.
I was say he put on his dancing shoes using the escape plan to help Hayes' movement, but not quite able to dance his way out of that one.
I just noticed now, Exile is on the pain train. That's weird to me. I don't know. He's better demo man than I am, obviously, but putting your demo on it is weird because it you have to put a lot more heals into him because scouts are going to be chipping him down even faster.
Yeah.
So maybe they have a play, maybe there's an idea behind it. You know, I can't judge it yet.
I mean, it does open up more opportunities for you as a demo, just to help like pressure caps and stuff. As they're going to be using through this border, they're going to find Chunky and the sentry gun here. They're going to be looking for the sentry. They're eventually going to take it down. As there's no sticks on the point. They should be playing the point. Someone needs to be pressuring the point, but they're not letting the microwave. The microwave's just able to send spawn, but they're baiting people forward. They're going to get frags. Now that they have this player advantage, they can start trading up frags on the point, as Dexter's Lab is finally going to get their first round on the board.
Yeah, that was a really good last push. They just they took ground and then focus kills as people were bunched up and coming out of spawn. They technically could have made it better by pressuring point and forcing those players to the point, but their focus fire was so good it didn't actually matter.
Yeah, and we are going to be going into our 6th mid fight here, as we're going to see both teams playing, again, pretty passively. Both the scouts for the microwave up top, but they're both going to need a fair amount of damage, and Shamu's not able to get re-healed off that. Shamu's going to be the first pick. That's not what you want to see on a map like Process that's so dominated by scouts. Rakusa's going to be trying to jump in and make space for his team. Going to get absolutely shredded by 2 scatter guns here, but Hayes is going to bomb in and find Toy, and after Hayes, once again, he's coming up huge for his team.
This is bad, though. Chunky's going to die, and they want to chase down Sky. Oh, Exile.
Oh, Exile's so weak.
Look how hurt he is. Wait, the scout's on him.
Oh, the scout's in. Scout's eats the air. Oh.
Now Shamu's going to get jinxed, probably. Yeah.
Oh, Jinx. Okay, Jinx lived for so long.
Wait.
Oh, God, Ryan cleans up Shamu.
Jesus.
Just absolute scrap fest. Neither team wanting to give up the IT there.
Yeah, but, you know, they have mid, and they have a good 40% edge. Sky isn't even healing yet, so that's going to be like a 50% edge.
I would say that's really poor for them, because like it could be a 40%, which is, you know, pretty holdable on Process, but I think as you start to build up more and more above 40%, it makes it so the other team pushing last year has so much more of an advantage. They are going to trade out 1 for 1 here. Hayes is down really weak on the side of the microwave, so they are getting better damage on the side of Dexter's Lab, but I think the defender's advantage is going to start paying off here as they're starting to come forward. They're getting really good spam on them in the choke points, but Exile dies. They're going to pop off this Uber.
Yeah, they take down Shenmue and Chunky. So Exile dying, you know, and Phone's behind actually. If they kill Phone here, they can go to last. They are 100% going to last. It's what? It's a scout. It's 2 soldiers and a med. The med's nowhere near Uber.
They're going to make this a sack, though, because there's no way they didn't know Sky was building for, like, those 5-10 seconds, true. So they're going to think Sky's going to have. So they're just going to make this into, you know, a pretty complicated sack. We do see a soldier up top here. Rakusa and Hayes are going to be trying to make stuff happen here on last. Looks like they're going to clean up 2 frags. Mirrorman's going to die, along with Ryan, so like I said, they're going to be looking for that sack. There's no way that they were going to know that Sky didn't have Uber, especially if Sky was in the spawn like she was. So now there's an opportunity for Microwave to push out of last year with 2 picks and an Uber advantage. I'm taking it real slow, making sure nothing get on the Sky. There's no sticky traps or anything, as they are going to take 2 successfully for free. Toy's getting close to their Uber, but they are going to try and take this through IT fast.
This is good call. No eyes on it. Ether should be the only one who dies if he does, but a great bomb from Hayes. Yeah, no one dies. That was good by Dexter's Lab. They, you know,
and they're going to be able to Uber back in.
Oh my God.
Sky's so caught.
Exile. Oh, come on.
Oh, Sky made it out. Sky wasn't even looking at the player. Oh, there's so much space here. They're mulching all the players. They're doing the get down, Madam President. They're going to make so Sky gets out, but that's really all they're going to find. Sky and Shimmer are going to make it out.
Get out. She's 41.
Oh, Jinx!
Oh my God.
Jinx got it down to 9 HP. 15 health in a dream. Oh my God, she's regenning.
She's dead.
Oh.
Yeah, there she goes. They're on point. They're capping. But they might die for it. They might lose for it. They're going to lose.
They're getting spawns. They're getting spawns in on the side of the microwave. Yeah. They made this fight so scrappy that they're able to get the spawns in.
Exile gets the soldier. Now it's Exile versus Chunky, but there's also a soldier.
Oh, the soldier respawner. They were able to make it scrappy enough to get the spawns in.
That was... So that's... No matter how big an advantage is, if you get too aggressive with it, it can end badly, and that's a, you know, a situation like that. They had the scout capping, but they were so focused on getting the kill on the medic that they didn't focus on the other players. As I say that, they are trying to refight second a little bit.
Yeah, but I think they're going to give this zone up. I think they learned the lesson from the last fight. They're going to recognize that they need to give it up, that there's really nothing to be gained if they continue to fight second tier. As it looks like we are going to see a reset here. Both teams kind of calming down. People are getting out of the other team's flanks and stuff. As we are going to see once again, it calmed down even Ubers, but Mirror Man's not content with that. Going to be jumping in, finds a decent rocket into Chunky. They're going to find a ton of damage into Chunky. They're going to trade him out for Jinx. Bones caught on the grass area here too. Dexter's Lab makes themselves an advantage here, as they are going to lose Ether, so they traded 2 for 2. I really don't know who this favors. I guess it would probably favor Dexter's Lab because they have a demo instead of a soldier. They are going to get their Uber up here a little quicker, but they have no idea either. Oh, but Mirror Man's in so deep, Sky doesn't pop. Mirror Man's in his face. I was gonna say, but
go ahead.
I say with their medic not having an Uber at all. I mean, Hayes is gonna be trying to buy time in the flank, try and get time for their spawns in here. Jinx with a clean 2 shots though takes him out. Toy's gonna die though. Phone just runs in and 2 shots. Toy. Phone's crazy. He's just so good at doing that.
They still could win this just off Hayes spawn. They won't risk it.
I would say if they had Toy alive instead of any one of their other players, I think they would take their odds on last. But I think they're going to peek into last. They're going to see that, you know, they're not out of position and they're not able to just take the fight in the doorways like they could, and they're just going to back off.
Yeah, and we're not there yet, but we're slowly inching to that point where you really have to, you know, think we have to play a little aggressive because we're down 4-1. You know, 18 minutes is a lot of time in TF2, but you know, it can slip away real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they gotta start cooking up stuff in the lab real quick here, because 18 minutes is not a ton of time, like you said, especially on process, which can be so stalematy. Both these teams have been, you know, really good about trying to make things happen in the stalemates, not letting teams, you know, get comfortable. But, I mean, if the microwave doesn't want to play that game, if they want to just play the slow game and just strong arm them, knowing that they have that advantage, they don't have to play games with Dexter's Lab. They can just hang out.
Mm-hmm. Very true. And as I said, it looks like they're not going to take any risk. They're just going to put phone on NG and let, you know, Dexter's Lab do stuff.
Yeah, I would say they peeked in the lobby there. They had phone kind of peek in the lower area, Shamu peeking upper. I think they were seeing if they could find anything, maybe like if there were players out of position or something, but they really didn't just favor their odds. I mean, Toy was literally out of choke, was just nowhere to be seen on last. Jinx is going to die to the sentry gun trying to get into last, but they are going to be able to spam out the sentry as a trade.
Uh-oh.
Mirror Man finds a nice rocket into Shamu, but Shamu being 185 HP with the beam on him is not hardly going to be scratched at all, as they're going to be taken down too. Hayes gets a bunch of damage, trading out that damage onto Exile, but again, it's just going to be an exchange of spam. Shamu's going to just run in here. It's cleaned up by Ether, though.
I like the aggressive hold by Exile on lower lobby, though. He did put himself in danger, but it stopped, you know, the combo and Soldier from walking in.
Yeah, I was going to say. And I think that's like one of those like little risk things that you wouldn't normally see a demo do that, because but they need to try and make something happen. Like I said, they are down 4-1, and time is dwindling. I mean, the longer it takes for Dexter's Lab to generate themselves advantages and break this stalemate, the more it favors the microwave. And I say Dexter's Lab is doing a really good job at getting the sentry gun, but I think they're giving up a little too much in the way of the health on their soldiers, because when they get that sack, or when they get the sentry gun down, they need to be sacking, but it looks like they're going to offer an even Uber exchange here, as Sky and Shamu are going to be standing in the doorway to 4. Evens are... I'm being asked if I saw something by product. Yeah, I got a bit of a tactical crutch in the choke point, but Dexter's Lab's going to be trying to go for a push here from 5, trying to make an even Uber's off push here, but Exile, Mirror Man, and Jinx are going to pay for it. They're not going to make it in very far at all. Shutting down the doorway is the microwave on that one, as, you know, they're going to make it out on the 2 here, are the microwave, and they're going to be able to try and push mid here, potentially. If they deny Mirror Man, I think they'll try and go, but Mirror Man's going to be up in just 1 second, so... yeah, they're just going to cancel, they're going to reset. Again, the microwave doesn't have to make things happen here. They are up 4-1.
Yeah, I think they're doing a really good job of towing that line between too aggressive and, like, not letting Dexter's Lab feel comfortable or set stuff up. Because Dexter's Lab never was able to, like, get in for a real sack on that.
Oh, Cruz is bombing in from the choke. Troy's down so weak, but expertly done by Toy. Realizes that last rocket isn't going to be close enough to hit the direct that would drop him. As Sky's going to hold on as well. Really good hold from Sky. Going to not pop to the 2-man there. Mirror Man's going to clean up Hayes in the sewer. Clean a couple rockets from him, taking on the soldier. Once again, the teams are just aggressively trading, but very measured aggression coming out of the microwave.
Yeah. I think Dexter's Lab are great bomb.
Mirror Man
actually got the force.
Oh, Rakusa's gonna clean up Jinx in the choke point, but Exile's gonna get a sticky trap onto Chunky, so 2 traded out here for the Demo Man, essentially, but Toy's still holding on to that. Her phone's gonna see after picking up that IT area with the B-Mod, but it looks like they're gonna rotate around into Sewer. Gonna be trying to take this one for free. Dexter's Lab, again, they have to play a little more aggressively. They have to try and make things happen. Try and take 2 here for free so they can have this Uber to push into last. Soldier's gonna be bombing in. Exile's gonna try and deny the team from coming forward. Kuzu's gonna bomb in. Really well done by Toy. Toy takes like only 30 damage from 2 players. 8 more damage from the one singular spam rocket from Hayes out of lobby than he did from 2 players sacking on him. Really good job from Toy there.
They've been building it really well, though. It's only 15%.
They gotta make something happen. They need picks or they need to get on the point. They're gonna kill Chunky. They're on the point too. Now they can just trade up frags on the point. Sky's at 98. Oh, that's so unfortunate if you're Sky.
98.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker if you're Sky. You're just like desperately like telling your players, stay with me, but they have to get on the point. And again, really well done by Dexter's Lab, making, you know, a small Uber advantage work, breaking players to point, just trading out the frags when they're invulnerable. 7th mid here, once again, Exile getting damaged early along with Chunky, trading out damage pretty effectively. Both are playing really passive, but Dexter's Lab getting really aggressive on the left. And, oh my gosh, the Soldier's in on the Sky, but Beef Soldier's rockets! Sky gets the Soul onto Mirror Man. Is this just going to be the Soldiers on the side of the microwave trying to make something happen? Again, an absolute scrap fest of a mid, but unlike the first few mids that we saw, it looks like Dexter's Lab finally has kind of found their footing. They're making their way on top.
Look at Exile.
Okay.
He just like.
Oh, he almost missed that dat. Phone actually was pretty far out. If he had, you know, waited a little longer, he would have missed that. Chunky, now knowing that there's no sticky traps, gonna find his way on the second here. They are gonna clear Hayes in the background, and they're gonna be hunting Rakuso. It's gonna be Ryan trying to find that 1v1. Rakuso not having a ton of rockets loaded, has to play super defensive here, but with their 2 picks and knowing that Rakuso is so far behind, yeah, they're gonna leave him. Rakuso has to play this so measured because a Soldier versus Scout, you have to play on your territory. So, you know, Midas can do exactly what he's doing here, just leave him, knowing that, you know, Rakuso has to play it super slow, very measured, and, you know, he can just go get a buff 185 and then worry about Rakuso in, like, you know, 10-15 seconds when Rakuso is finally determined, like, yeah, I'm safe to go forward. As Sky actually does have a small Uber advantage, so this could be a moment of opportunity for them, because I think it's just because they were hard building on last and Toy wasn't, but I'm not sure they're really going to know that.
No, there's no world that, what's their name? The Microwave do anything here, I don't think. Especially with Rakuso behind, that's a huge risk.
Yeah, although, but I think... I was to say, I think the mic... Oh, really good air shot coming out of the Soldier there on mid. Who was that? That was Mirror Man?
That's Mirror Man, yeah.
Crisp rocket taking down Rakuso there.
Get him down to 17.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this guy did a shot better earlier. That would have been perfect for the frag move. I still think you could throw that one in a frag move. That was crisp. That was on his POV. But they're going to try and pressure their way into last, knowing that they have that pick onto Rakuso. But Microwave holding strong here.
Yeah, they're doing that pressure that they're, you know, they've been so successful with. And, you know, Dexter's Lab haven't, as has been happening, Dexter's Lab hasn't gotten a foothold yet.
Yeah, and I actually really like this from Rakuso, hanging out on Pyro, standing inside the center gun as they try and rotate the gun a little more aggressively, making it so that it's a little easier for Bone to move his gun. They are going to pick up Ather in this lobby area. Chunk is able to claim that frag. Exile dies, Shimu just runs in. This is what Shimu does. He just gets 185 and just runs into players. He just disrespects them in the choke point. Hits a clean 2 shots up on the Exile. Ather's going to come up on their spawn, but Ryan's going to die on the other side of things, and Jinx dies as well. Toy's going to milk the super for as long as possible, but...
Pause?
We have a pause?
Alright. Pause, alright. So we are paused. This isn't, you know, when the game lags and that means the match is over. We do have a legitimate pause. That was probably the worst possible situation for Lab. Like...
I was going to say, if you're going to pop that Uber, scouts are so important. They drop both their scouts and then pop their Uber, and it's not even like they have a ton to go with it. There's just 0 players with Toy right now.
No force, nothing. Although, I don't know if they know Mirror Man's here. Do they? No one's looking at him. I don't think anyone knows Mirror Man's here. So that could be something.
That's true. I think that might be their one silver lining, but I think if Mirror Man makes the mistake of going to last, there's still 2-3 players on last for the Microwave. And one of them being
Quick on
has a
those.
sentry gun that has a aimbot. Yeah, and they know Mirror Man's in one. Mirror Man's, I think, was just trying to find Chunky, who is in that one door, as Sky's gonna back up here, opting to try and not use their oop, as we're gonna see the re-aggression in. Chamu's gonna die, but they're gonna trade it out for 2 soldiers. I think that's a trade you take every single day of the week, as they are gonna make their way out onto point here, as yeah, they have the sentry gun watching last. Phone's gonna switch off though, knowing that the timing's there. They are going to get their spawns up here for their scouts on the side of Dexter's lab, but they don't have an Uber to come back with, as Sky's still holding on to her.
Yeah, this is rough. They get the choke pretty cleanly.
Yeah, and the thing is, Toy doesn't have a heal target right now. Let's say until Toy came forward there and kind of got out. Oh, but the arrow! Mirror Man hit a direct onto Sky, and I'm pretty sure Toy hit an arrow there to help secure that. So Sky's gonna drop that Uber. This is exactly what Dexter's lab needs. They need opportunities, and that's a huge one presented to them.
Just Shamu and Kuso, and look how much cap time there is too.
I was gonna say,
Shamu's hiding. They need to.
Oh, Shamu onto Toy!
Shamu beef.
Oh, Toy!
Well, not even beef actually. No,
Oh,
they
but
took
Mirror
the
Man
pack.
takes his back! Mirror Man takes Toy's back, no!
Now Toy needs to play passive to get the super.
Yeah.
He's so hurt.
He's not, Toy's at 95 though, so this isn't the end of the world. They don't have to play that passive.
Just flash everyone, Toy. Just don't even worry.
Yeah, take the family Uber on point.
Yeah,
look for
that's it.
frags
That's the
here.
round.
Yeah. A 4-3 game. There's 9 minutes left. I was gonna say, I think if you'd asked, 9 minutes ago, right? If this game was winnable, it was looking pretty bleak. But Dexter's lab, off the back of a couple really good opportunities, evening this game out as we go. And like I said, just 2 more rounds. 1 more round if they want to take it to a golden cap, if they can hold out for 9 minutes, or 2 rounds just to win it outright.
Yeah, both teams are playing. Look at Rakusa. Rakusa's in immediately on Toy. Toy's already hurt. Both soldiers are on him. He should be cleaned up here.
But Toy doesn't die. They sell out so much for Toy, but Sky is just sitting pretty, hanging out with Phone, so passive. Phone and Chunky are doing a really good job on these mids, just playing passive. Oh, but Chunky just ends Jinx's career. It's a crazy pipe on him. Oh, that takes the wins out of your sails. I mean, the microwave, that's exactly the mid you need to show the other team that you're not rattled, 3 rounds in a row from Dexter's lab. 2 of them in pretty decently quick succession, showing that, Dexter's lab, they might not have shown up in the first half, but they definitely came to play in the second half. But that's exactly the response mid you need if you're the microwave.
Oh, 100%. This isn't over yet. Not by any means. They haven't really gotten much space. They're pretty aggressive. They are on...
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait.
They get melted.
Wow.
That looks so good. Like,
Wait,
they got all
didn't
3
even die.
I said this. Shout out to RGL for the big raid. Hopefully that was a good game, but welcome to all the viewers.
That I did not expect that. They put so much pressure on Exile. Exile was down pretty low, I think, and they had good cap time, and then all of a sudden 3 people died.
Yeah, they essentially triple bombed them. They sold out all 3 of their projectile classes to try and kill Exile, to try and get the stickies off the point, and a scout ran on the point at the same time, but people were able to come in and contest the point, and all 3 of those projectile classes instantly melted. Sky's at 90%. Dexter's lab needs to make something happen really soon, though. They're trying to get in with this Uber. They are going to pop it, but Sky already has their Uber. This is really bad. They're instantly just going to hop back into them, but they do drop Phone. Oh, but Toy's not making it out. Toy's, this is so bad, but Mirror Man finds so much damage with that bomb. There's so much damage they need to go. They're able to clean up Chunky. Again, Mirror Man on the rebomb finds so much more damage. They're going to clean up Rakusa. Mirror Man putting the team on his back in damage for that fight.
Yeah, I don't know, the aggression is a lot better from Dexter's lab now, and it seems like, as I say that, they're dropping players, but...
I kind of like that play, though, where they all kind of pressure doorways, and they kind of make it like a 2-man, because Sky lived, and Toy didn't, so they needed to make something happen. Again, there's only 6 minutes left, and they need at least 1 round to send this to a golden cap.
True.
And I don't think they really care about, most teams I think would care about, not dropping rounds in previous season, but in this season, your head-to-head and, your overall record of, win-losses matters so much more. It's not the point system that we saw in previous seasons. So they don't care if it's like a 5-4 game. They need to win.
They lose Phone, and Jinx is pressuring Rakuso out too, so they're not going to be able to do much with this Uber. If anything, yeah, they're not even going to use.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they value Phone on this team, on the microwave, just a little too much. And you know, especially with him dying, they're not going to opt to go for anything, as they're going to be sacking in Mirror Man, but gets absolutely deleted. I think Hayes hit a bit of an upwards direct.
An air shot followed immediately by a meat shot.
Yeah, I was on Mirror Man's cam. I watched him go from 210 to 0 real quick.
There isn't a counter sack yet. Are they just not going to go for one? I guess not. 5 minutes left.
I don't think Phone was really in a position to support Rakuso on the flanks, and then Rakuso, by the time he like rotated and everything over to the combo where he could get that support and get rebuffed and everything, I just didn't think he valued his odds.
Yeah, makes sense. So no off classes yet. 5 minutes again is a lot of time. But
Ether in to make space for Mirror Man, but Mirror Man gets body blocked by Shamu. Hardly makes it to the floor.
There goes Rakuso.
Yeah, counter sack again. The very metered aggression from both teams, where they're kind of just throwing in players back and forth. You know, when there's 6 versus 6, a one-player red really doesn't net much for a team, especially once everything's kind of stopped. It's hard to get this bus moving once it's parked. And I think the microwave is not going to be trying to push this bus anytime soon.
How do you jinx this though? You got Hayes down to 45.
Oh, but Ether beefs his jump. Guess a decent rocket into Chunky though, because Ether almost makes it out on that one, but Ether wasn't able to get deep enough with their jump. Only was able to find like 100 damage rocket into Chunky before trying to get out. As that we are going to see the even Uber exchange into mid. Sky and Co don't really want to, you know, wait around.
So much better. Oh my god.
Boy, gets so much of a better in Uber. They already have a pick on the phone, and Shamu's down so weak.
Shamu's gonna die.
Shamu and Sky are so weak.
Hey, kill Hayes, please. Don't let him air shot your med.
Hayes dies. Okay, they have a 2-player advantage. They're decently weak on the side of Dexter's Lab, but they're pretty weak on the side of the microwave as well. They are going to slowly push this one in. Toy's a little weak, so they're taking it a little slow. But knowing that the time is not on their side, they're going to be trying to make things happen. The last Phone on the Sniper, though, not going to be giving them free space on the left-hand side. Soldier's going to bomb in, force Phone to switch off. As that they still have an opportunity here, but Mirror Man dies. They have players on the point, but Hayes is on the respawn. They're able to focus down Shamu. Trade out 1-for-1. Sky dies.
It's doable. They don't even need to fight it right now.
They just need to get safe. They're leaving.
The health, but they didn't know
They're leaving. They're just leaving. They have enough time that they can play this the Uber advantage. They're not forced to try and take this fight and try and win it out.
What they need to do with the Ubers, they need to take space and they need to get the gun down and maybe at least a kill. Like, the Uber doesn't need to do everything, but you definitely need to take control. The microwave in the last few pushes into Dexter's Lab's last were having that problem. They were getting into the ramp, and then they just didn't do anything else. So let's see if Dexter's Lab can make something happen here.
Yeah, as Exiles can be coming in, it looks like they're going to go for the standard 4 Uber that they've been going for almost every single time. Guns in the same spot. Phone has not really been, mixing up his gun positions here. They're trying to walk it in for free. They are going to pop it off. Their Sticky's on the point this time, as they are going to be trying to rotate over to this left side, trying to find picks. They find a good amount of damage into Shamu and on the Haze. Phone's going to respawn on the Heavy here. Mirror Man's going to find so much damage into Chunky and Phone. They're trying to pressure the point here, but Sticky's on it. They're really not finding a lot on the side of Dexter's Lab. They need to find a pick or get out, and they find their pick, as Ether dies. I was gonna say, I think they're just gonna leave here knowing Sky's getting very close to Uber CVS Pharmacy. That's Rakuso trying to pressure here. Not able to find, oh, he's actually able to find the pick on Exile, fadeaway rocket there. So this is big push territory, knowing that there's no chance that they instantly lose a player to a sticky trap, as Sky and Co are actually gonna push out of last with just 2 minutes left. I'm not sure I like this. Like I said, really all that matters this season is the win, because there is no point system. So really matters a lot more about the win-losses, but Dexter's Lab, knowing that, you know, time is of the essence if they want to send this to a golden cap, is trying to make something happen. They're trying to pressure on all fronts. They really have no opportunity.
They have to go for an even Uber exchange. There's not really room for a force, or time, excuse me, for a force. So
yeah, Toy's coming up on their Uber though, so there's an opportunity. There's only 1:45. They really just need to take an exchange or find picks or something, but I think the Microwave's just going to play this really passively, because any engagement that they play, if Microwave plays passively, makes it really difficult. You can see the Uber exchange in here. They're going to get full scouts on the point, but they have so much of a worse Uber. They are going to make it out though, so they're able to make it out just in time. So now this is it. They have to basically make a dry push happen. As they're going to be making their way in from the choke. Ather's going to be jumping in to try and make space. Rakusa's going to be counter-jumping, though, trying to find damage on the other side of things. Find so much damage. Both the scouts are so weak on the side of Dexter's Lab. But yeah, there's so much damage on the side of the Microwave, though, but their positioning is just so much better. They have this high ground. If they're not forced to play far back in the choke points, the defenders really have this advantage because they hold on to this Spire. You just get so much better spam and so much more control. As Jinx is going to be the first frag, there's just a minute left. Mirrorman's trying to pressure in, but they're just going to have to make it out on this one.
This
We're gonna
is
have to
going to
wait
be
for their
close.
I think.
But-
Oh, and are they gonna go for an Okay, they were kind of gearing up around the Chocos because if they go for a dot push right as they get Uber, Toy wasn't building as well. I think Toy had to go for more arrows than Sky. There's just 37 seconds left. They need to make something happen. Yeah, they're gonna go for a dot push.
Exile bomb, I like it. Get that force on the Sky immediately. That's good.
Yeah, as well.
But
They're just gonna be trading up, but Exile died. Exile needed to live there. They didn't really commit their Uber, just trying to save him. Mirrorman's gonna be going deep into the backline, but Hayes just cleans him up. Yeah, I think that might be the game. Barring a miracle here, I think Dexter's Lab is not gonna win this one. They put up a valiant effort though, after going down 3-0 in the first half to make it a 4-3 game.
Yeah, that is a GG. If that match went on, I think 5 more minutes, I think Dexter's Lab gets it to Golden Cap.
Yeah, they just
were playing a lot better.
I would say I don't know what they talked about at the halftime, but they definitely set up some experiments in the second half that really benefited their team. They played a lot better in that second half. I mean, they had a winning record. I mean, they were 3-1 in the second half. You know, if you ignore the first half that the Microwave set up a 3-0 lead, then it's a winning game for Dexter's Lab. But it's a game of two halves, unfortunately, and the Microwave just played it a little better in the long run.
Yeah, they in the second half, Dexter's Lab did a lot better job of, especially on the mid, controlling the aggression that Microwave were putting forward. Like the first half, they were just getting destroyed by the double soldier bomb, followed by the aggression, and then in the second half, it wasn't perfect, but they did a lot better job of shutting down those soldiers, winning the mid fight, and then later on as well, Hayes and Mercuso would bomb in, and they would do a good job of shutting them out of the fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hayes and Rakuso were double bombing on almost every single one of these mids, either one after the other or at the same time. And Dexter's Lab in the second half definitely did a lot better of a job of knowing when they could commit to cleaning up those soldiers or when they just needed to counter aggress the other team more. And it definitely benefited them a lot. And like you said, it was not perfect, but their reads overall on the mids were better. They know when they could get aggressive and when they needed to focus on those soldiers that were actually committing.
So one stat, Hayes 43 and 27, 305 DPM. Like,
yeah, Hayes put on an absolute clinic in that game. Like I said, at the end of the first half, I still think this rings true for the second half, where he was initiating a lot of fights and basically setting up kills or getting kills to start the fight, and then finishing fights by getting kills. He just went absolutely ham that game.
Yeah, 100%. I'd say, honestly, it was incredibly close, like, besides that, in terms of stats, there wasn't a huge difference between the demos. Ether, I guess, had more kills than Rakuso, but like like I said, kills on roamer don't mean everything. It's the impact. Scouts were all pretty similar in terms of kills, deaths, and damage. Really the only outlier is Hayes. And even so, that match was super close.
I was to say, I think overall, like, you could kind of compare, like, what people do for their teams. It's like, all right, Rakusa's more of a, like, I'm going to make space for my team, I'm going to throw him in, whereas Ether plays more of like a solo role on his team. He's not necessarily setting up things for the rest of his team as much as Rakuso is, but I think pretty one-to-one. A lot of the stats are very similar, but I mean, Hayes had 10 more kills than anybody else on his team, and he had 7 more kills than the next highest in the server. And as a soldier on Process, like, this is a scout map. I think you'd be hard pressed to argue that Process is not a scout map, and Rakuso top damaged and top fragged in the server.
You mean Hayes?
Yeah. Words.
No,
but I got that drain bramage. Sometimes you mix things up, all right?
No, yeah, you're 100% right. That's why when I saw Hayes' stats, it was just so jarring. I'm not used to Pockets, controlling the game that much, especially on Process, which is a map that I think a lot of people, myself included, really, it's one of the scout maps. It's so good for scout. But he definitely had a great impact. Another thing to look at, heal percentage. They tanked Exile really, not crazy amount, but comparatively. Like on the Microwave, it was 27 for Shamu, 25 for Hayes, 23 for Chunky. It scaled, but it was pretty consistent. Whereas on Dexter's Lab, it was Exile with 28%, and then 4 people with 19%.
Yeah, a little more of a communist heal spread coming out of Dexter's Lab, trying to split up their heals. But I guess, I don't know, maybe you would expect more, though, if you're going to put that many heals into Exile. Comparatively, he had the most heals in the server. And, I mean, he did the most damage on his team, but he was 50 DPM behind Hayes. and Hayes didn't even take the most kills on his team. He was second behind Shamu. I think, maybe if you're going to be putting that many resources into your demo, you may be able to expect more, but I also think maybe that Exile was getting a lot of those heals, especially in the second half, where they're trying to hold on to points where after they sacked both their soldiers in, and the team is really pressuring him. So I'm not really sure how inflated that heal stat is.
Yeah, I think you're right. It might be a little bit inflated just because it's not so much, they're tanking the living hell out of Exile because that's how they play. It's because of the pressure that Hayes, Rakuso, and by extension the rest of their team were putting on the combo. Exile, it never really felt like the combo was able to get a nice setup, just kind of chill. Microwave were doing a really good job, even when they were losing, of making Dexter's Lab, kind of feel, I think, stressed and hectic. So that could be a...
Yeah. But yeah, looking at the overall picture, I believe there was 2 matches tonight. I believe Furya won their match 4-2 on Clear Cut over Ascent. So Ascent's going to start off the season 0-1, but I think they'll pretty quickly bounce back. And on the other side of things, the Microwave barely wins out this one, so they're going to be moving up in the standings. I think this, again, both the teams I think are going to be playing for one of those last spots, in the invite playoff. So I think it's really important, especially because I think these 2 teams are really the ones that are kind of competing for that 4th spot, in my mind at least, maybe that 3rd spot too. But if they want to be securing that spot and getting in comfortably, these are the kind of wins that they need to be winning. But I don't think all is lost if you're Dexter's Lab. I mean, that was a 4-3 game. And like I said, as a tale of 2 halves, like if you focus on the second half, right, that's a winning game for Dexter's Lab. So
100%.
I think maybe, the other thing too is like I said, Dexter's Lab, I think it was like season 27, 28, somewhere in that era, is when this team, basically in its entirety played together last. Whereas it was season 31 for the Microwave when they played together as Space Pirates. So, it's been a little longer since Dexter's Lab, played together. Maybe they gotta de-rust, dust off the things in the lab, get things cooking again. But I think they'll get there. Like I said, I feel like both of these teams played really well tonight. There's definitely silver linings for both teams. And it'll be interesting to see as it goes forward more, how these teams develop and how Invite in general develops now that we're down to just 6 teams. Because I think if you were, following the Invite, scene early into this offseason, you were expecting like a 9 or a 10 team Invite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. It's not to say that it's going to be boring. I think the bottom, I don't know the most about Froyo and Ascent because I just haven't been paying attention to them. But the other teams, I think, are all incredibly close, or at least if they're not now, they definitely have the potential to be. There's no, from what I can tell, there's no, every season there's 1, maybe 2 teams who it's like, all right, you guys are bottom invite, you're invite, but you might not be able to contend with a lot of the teams. It doesn't really feel like that this season, with the extent of, some teams playing against Froyo. But other than that, I think it's going to be insanely competitive.
Yeah, and like I said, I think both these teams are kind of playing for that 3rd or 4th spot in Invite. It just really depends on how things shuffle and, if more teams die or not, as unfortunate as that is. But yeah, I think, like I said, both these teams played pretty well tonight. I think there's things to look forward to for both these teams. I think that's about all I've got for tonight.
Yeah, shout out to Exile going damage negative.
Yeah, gotta shout out the Twitch chat memes. Damage negative is a big one. So I'm gonna make a shout out to the Dunk Masters. Shout out to those guys.
That's all I got.
So yeah, this has been TFTV with our coverage of RGL Season 3 Invite. This has been our cast of the Microwave versus Dexter's Lab. I've been FrickMyNick, joined by Unicorn Wizard as my co-caster and Lucer200 on production. Thank you everybody for joining us, and have a good night.